Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels on game day. That's right, Packers showdown with the Lions kicks off later this evening. I thought I'd hop on here and have a quick chat with y'all while we're all waiting in anticipation for a huge NFC North matchup. Some news and notes prior to getting to your questions and chats and comments. The Packers announcing a little bit ago that Kalen King, the seventh-round pick corner out of Penn State, has been elevated from the practice squad to the active roster for tonight's game. And on the flip side, the Lions with an old friend. I use that term in quotes. Jamal Adams, the former Jet, former Seahawk, was a safety at those spots, but will be playing linebacker for the Lions. He was recently signed to their practice squad. He has been activated, and he will play for the Lions tonight. Going to be interesting to see how much he gets out there on the field and how much the Packers are able to take advantage of a guy who, look, there's no doubt the Packers are going to want to run the ball. That's it. Physicality. It's part of his game. You got to think that's going to be a matchup that's worth watching against a depleted Detroit Lions defense. They are very, very banged up. No question that the Packers are going to want to run the ball early and often in this one. Hello to everybody in the comments section. So good to see you all. So many folks already chiming in. A lot of regulars here. So good to see you. Brandy, how are you? Tom Richmond's here. What's up, Tom? I do want to give my regular shout out to our good friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy. You just select two or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com and use code CHTV. Spend $5 on lineups and get $50 instantly. You can find Prize Picks in 43 different states, most importantly, including Wisconsin. I got my picks here somewhere. Oh, there they are. Jordan Love tonight. He's not going to need 30 pass plays, let alone 33 attempts. Give me the fewer attempts there. Tucker Kraft, definitely going to touch the ball 4 times in the passing game. Unfortunately, I think Sam Laporta is also going to get his tonight. I think tight ends have been an ongoing problem for the Green Bay Packers defense. However, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't care that Jair Alexander ain't up. They're going to hold him under 80 yards. In fact, they're going to hold him under 70 yards. That's right. You heard it, people. Get on board. Send me your lineups for tonight's game. Tons of fun. There's a link in the description of this video for you to join Prize Picks. Remember, use code CHTV. What's going on, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Hype much? Yeah, I'm a little hype. Mimsy, how are you, man? Thanks for the super chat. Weekly Watson breakout game manifesting super chat. Well, it's not going to happen unless you super chat it and manifest it. So I'm sure he greatly appreciates it. I know I do. The Packers probably do as well. This is the site of his humongous game last season, starting it off with that monster shot play, very first offensive snap of the game for the Packers, and continued to be a problem for that Detroit Lions defense. That secondary really had no answer for him for much of the game. I don't know if we see a continuation of that tonight. I do think this is a game where he can be involved early and often, because you have to think this Lions defense is going to be ready for a rushing attack from the Green Bay Packers. Lots of condensed formations, lots of power stuff where maybe you do get Watson one-on-one on the backside against a corner that gives you an opportunity to go downfield. I think they'll look for those shots at times, but I don't think that's going to be a focal point of the game plan. Joey, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. Equiminius is the better St. Brown. Go, Pack, go. I understand it's game day and we got to talk some smack, but we all know that's not true. I mean, shout out EQ, Packers legend, but his bro is pretty damn good. Tony says, make Goff struggle and it will greatly downgrade his play. You have certainly hit on something there as far as what the Packers did last season in this building, mostly by only rushing 4. I mean, this is one of the best games last season from this group up front. Rashawn Gary had one of his best games of the year in 2023 in Detroit. Hopefully that repeats, because he has been coming on. If you look at his tape, but also his numbers, It's certainly been a much more productive affair over the course of the last month plus, certainly coming out of the bye week, exerting a lot more pressure, getting around the quarterback, getting the quarterback on the ground, been doing it with some regularity. Mark, what's up? Are you aware you appear in the Prime Video EA Sports It's in the Game Madden NFL miniseries, episode 2, 2230? You're on Radio Row or live stream from the Combine. Yes, Mark, I am aware. I knew I was going to be somehow placed in there in some way when they were filming at Indianapolis this past spring. Had no idea how or where, but you, along with many others, have noticed it and let me know about it, and I have seen it. People have sent me the clip. I mean, it's basically just a scene setter, but I'm pretty honored to be involved in any way because God knows, you guys know, I'm a Madden freak. So that docu series, the mini series, is outstanding as far as the history of the game and how it got to where it is now. What's up, Brandy? Nags, with the Packers wide receivers blocking so much downfield, how are they not being penalized for it? Well, you're allowed to. You're absolutely allowed to, and they do it with great technique. There's no question that one of the reasons you are allowed, you're breaking the big runs you are in the Packers offense is because they're controlling guys. And as long as they're keeping their hands inside, they are allowed to control those guys all the way up the field and onto the sideline if they want. We've seen that on a couple of occasions. Malik Heath last year, I remember, threw a guy out the club essentially into a Gatorade stand. So as long as they're doing it legally and doing it with good technique, yeah, they can control plenty of things down the field and allow Josh Jacobs to get going, which he has done. Rai, what's up? What has impressed you most about Hafley's approach? I'll tell you what, the work he has done over the course of the last month or so, missing Jair Alexander, and then also being robbed of Edgerrin Cooper and his athleticism, and understanding how precarious things are in his defensive backfield, really never putting those guys in too much stress, bad situations, etc. At times, it's meant that, yes, teams have been able to move the ball in spurts, etc. But for the most part, he's really understood the assignment as far as what his personnel is, what it's capable of. I do think some of it has been predicated on the fact that they've had leads in these games. Like, they've done a good job of getting out to leads and controlling the football game right from the jump. However, I say that with the knowledge that that doesn't happen without the defense. I've heard a lot of kind of dismissive claims this week about, well, they're only playing well on defense because they've got a lead. Well, they got that lead because the defense got off the field early in the game and allowed the offense to get back out there and score more points. So it's not like they've just been handed this 14, 17-point lead each week, right? These last two games in particular, they have been a major component of why the Packers have been able to take control of these contests. Now, do I expect that to occur tonight? Probably not. The Lions are excellent on offense, one of the best offenses they'll face all year long. I do not doubt for a moment. I mean, you go back and you look at last year. Packers go right down and score after that big shot to Watson. Lions come right back and make it 7-7 in the blink of an eye. That is the type of game I expect this will be. Now, hopefully, much like last year, they can get to Goff and cause a turnover or two and give Jordan Love and company an extra opportunity. But yeah, I think for the most part, like I said at the start here, I think Hafley's understood how, regardless of whether it's frustrating that the front four is not getting home, even when he's trying to send simulated pressure or even all out pressure, on the very rare occasion he does, he knows he can't live there. He's got to live where it gives his guys that are available the best chance to succeed. That, to me, has been pretty damn impressive. George Lucas, pity soul, man. What's going on? Thanks for the super chat. I predict a perfect weekend. Packers win tonight. Vikings and Bears lose. Go, Pack, go. The Bears still suck. George, I may not have liked Attack of the Clones, but that's a phenomenal super chat. I like it. Ace, what's going on, man? Aaron, are you going to be at Kettle of Fish tonight? God, I wish. I'd love to go watch a game at Kettle again. I haven't done that in a very long time. Unfortunately, no, I will be here on the watch party with Corey, chatting up with Packers fans worldwide. I love doing it. I love being here. I love being with you all. But, man, I do miss Kettle of Fish. That is a scene. That is a vibe. I miss Patrick and company, no doubt. Mimsy, thanks again. $20 NFL 2K game was elite. Sad the NFL squashed it. Man, you ain't lying. Those two 2K games, the initial one, and then NFL 2K1, that was the height. That was the height of NFL football gaming. And since then, it's been up and down, to put it charitably. Jim is excited. Jim, Kalen King active. Yes, Kalen King is active, as we discussed at the top. I'm going to maybe throw some cold water on the excitement. I know, Jim, you and many others have been waiting for the rookie to get out there. I will be absolutely floored if he plays from scrimmage tonight, outside of maybe end of the half, got a bunch of DBs out there in a Hail Mary situation, or it's 4th and 30 and the Lions are desperate and they absolutely need a dime set out there. Maybe he gets on the field for that. But ultimately, I'll be surprised if he plays at all outside of special teams. I do think this call-up is about the fact that they don't – obviously, we knew Jair was out. We knew Ballantyne has been dealing with that knee injury. There was a decent chance they were going to call someone up. It's just the first time that they've called King up. Now, maybe he does. Maybe he gets in the rotation. Maybe they've been working on that. I would love to see it. He certainly looked promising in training camp. But again, I'll be surprised if he plays any meaningful, real kind of extensive reps on the defensive side of the ball. Bo, you ain't lying. Watch out for Jameson Williams tonight. We have to stop him on defense. Didn't play last time. Yes. And the one thing that heartens you there, right, is they just faced Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, two of the fastest dudes in the league. Williamson is right there. He's a burner. They showed a pretty decent way of working, of trying to contain that, put a kind of topper on that. Now, the difference, of course, is that the Lions have an insanely productive ground game that is going to have to be dealt with. Will that necessitate the Packers bringing numbers into the box and allowing maybe Williamson some one-on-one opportunities? It's possible, and you don't love that idea with this particular secondary that Green Bay has to roll out there because of their injuries. So it's definitely an issue, and you're right. They didn't have to worry about him last time around. Definitely, I think, going to be a presence tonight. What else we got? Robin, how are you, man? How's life across the pond? All three running backs will be vital to keeping it ticking over tonight. JJ is your 1, but 2 and 3 need to carry it too. You ain't lying, man. I think we'll see a healthy amount of Chris Brooks. Hopefully Wilson gets involved at times. Yeah, it'll mostly be the Josh Jacobs show. We all know that, but you're absolutely spot on. You will undoubtedly see a good mix of all three backs tonight. Brett, thanks for checking out the stream on Twitter. Force Goff to make difficult throws, and this will be a rout. Go, Pack, go. Oh, a rout. Man, to quote C-3PO, I wish I had your confidence. I mean, I do think they have the ability to get Goff off the spot, right? But what they did so well last time around in Lambeau was not ask him to do too much. So many of his throws in that game were either in the flat, in the backfield, maybe 5-6 yards down the field. It was very rare that they asked him to push the ball down the field. And they're able to do that because they have a running game and they're able to stay ahead of the sticks, and they don't really need, usually, to make up a ton of ground. They're already on schedule. The opportunities for the pass rush to pin their ears back and get to Goff and make life hard for him are few and far between. But to your point, if you can do it, and if you can get him in a spot where he's got to get outside the pocket, get on the move, the Packers should be able to make some plays, no doubt. Oh, Mark, that's very kind of you, man. Nobody carries the G like you, Aaron. Thank you. I think that's a compliment. I'm kidding. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, man. And thank you to everybody who said hello to me when I was in Wisconsin last week. It was pretty surreal. It kind of is every time I go home. Exponentially more so this time because I was with my girlfriend, and every time we were out anywhere in public, at least one person was like, hey, Aaron, I love Cheesehead TV. And it's like, that is crazy. That is pretty crazy. Jake says, we roll tonight. Too many injuries, and we're hitting stride like no other. National media will finally recognize. It's interesting, Jake, and I understand the fan kind of impulse to want national recognition and have your team spoken about a certain way. But I know you know this, but none of that matters, right? You want to win the game. Absolutely want to make a statement. No doubt about it. But man, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter in the long run how they play. If they play poorly but still get the win, just get the win, man. I think I'm with you. They are hitting their stride. They're certainly seemingly putting together some of their best ball that we've seen all year at all three phases. Would love to see them continue that. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere tonight. Good testing ground for a team that is ready to make a playoff run. I mean, what's crazy is if they win or lose tonight, their percentage is almost imperceptibly. Like they are hovering around 99% chance to make the playoffs at this point. So win or lose, it's about finding your ways of working, making sure you're getting better, developing players. Definitely want to come out with a win, but I do think the national recognition, etc., that will come in time. I think the Packers winning is just so kind of taken for granted after 30 plus years of it, right? The Packers are doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, look no further than the coach of the year conversation, which Matt LaFleur gets left out of each and every week. You see these new odds at the, whatever MGM or Bet MGM or whoever. It's never has Matt's name included, and it's always teams that were expected to be bad or, they have a rookie quarterback and they're doing really well. And the Packers are just expected to win a boatload of games, which they do with the youngest team in the league. A couple of those games with a backup quarterback who hadn't been with them all offseason, but none of that gets talked about. So hopefully Matt puts the league on notice tonight. I'd love that. Nathan. Peaking in September and October is cute. Time to roll in December and January. Now you're talking. Now you are talking, sir. I love it. I love it. Jay, I love this. Just get the win is a very desperate notion. It's the mentality and way of thinking that cost games. Jay, nobody in this chat is playing tonight, right? We are going to be sitting down, drinking beer, and watching ball on television. You get that, right? I need to know that you know that. I mean, ultimately, step outside, go outside, feel the wind on your face, touch the grass. Football is entertainment, my guy. I want to be watching these Packers as long as possible this year into a deep playoff run. You know how that happens? Good positioning, good playoff positioning via wins and records and coming out of games with a W. Man, we aren't playing. It's going to be all right. I promise you. Kalen King's season. I hear you, man. What else we got here, folks? Oh, Larry, that's an interesting question. Who would be the scariest coach the Bears could get? I'm sure the common response would probably be Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, who we'll be seeing tonight on the sideline in Detroit. But I don't know. I think that's a good question. I'd be fascinated to see someone like Bill Belichick get a shot there, just because it'd be another defensive coach, right? But I got to think they'll probably find some young up-and-coming offensive play caller, maybe Johnson, maybe somebody else, because you usually react to the last guy you hired, which is a defensive coach in Chicago. Have to think, especially now that they've got a young quarterback that they're trying to bring along, they'll come up with some young hotshot play caller. Now, is it Ben Johnson? Maybe. Maybe it's Cliff Kingsbury, who was his coach in USC. Well, we'll see. But ultimately, to answer your question, none of it scares me. The Bears will screw it up. I've told you guys this all summer long. No one wanted to listen to me. The Bears will screw it up. Trust me on that. Until there's new ownership, you don't have to worry about the Bears. Ooh, Brandy, I like this. Nags, Reed in the backfield with a running back there as well is a cheat code. Love it. I mean, the way they utilized some of those looks against the 49ers was really exciting. I love the way they utilize the motion, the spinner stuff with Love, so that the defense is really guessing where the ball is, who's he handing it off to. And then sometimes you just hit Reed on a really easy kind of somewhat of a wheel route out of the backfield for an easy gain. They did that actually against Detroit last time around. So, yeah, I'm with you. I love the possibilities that come out of that personnel pairing. Andrew Ware, how are you, man? Remember in 96 when Dorsey and Edgar had 100 yards rushing in the second half? That's how we win tonight. X pick 6 incoming 2. Go Pack Go. Not that you're greedy or anything, Andrew. I hear you though, man. That was a fun time. And that was when, Edgar Bennett had kind of established himself, but Dorsey suddenly started becoming undeniable. You had to get him involved. You had to get him the ball. And it was weird because he was, I don't know if you remember, he was originally a fullback. He was listed as a fullback. But the more he played, the more it was obvious that, wait, he's a halfback. Like, get him the ball. I would love it if we had something along those lines start tonight. I'm totally down with that. Oh, Steve, I love it. I'm hyperventilating. Take a breath, man. Go outside, feel the wind on your face. It's going to be a beautiful night. One play at a time. A lot of ball game left. Go Pack Go. All right, buddy. I'm going to have to get going. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers before tonight's big kickoff. Corey and I will be live about 10 minutes before kick here on the YouTube channel. In the meantime, please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see you tonight on the watch party. Go Pack Go.